As 2020 is coming to a close, now is the time to start planning your 2021. So in this video, we are going to be walking you through how to create your spending plan for 2021 so you have an amazing year. Hi, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Tasha with One Big Happy Life, where we help you find balance, build wealth, and live happy. Everything that you need to create the life that you want. Today, we are going to be walking you through how you can create a spending plan for your best life in 2021. A one-year spending plan lets you visualize your whole year at once and really concretely see how you're going to hit all of your big financial goals and also hit your lifestyle goals. Like maybe we'll all be traveling more in 2021, fingers crossed. And so you want to plan for that. And actually later this week, we're going to be sharing our 2021 spending plan to give you some inspo and to see a spending plan in action with a real family budget. So if you have not already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. And also head on over to onebighappylife.com/budget to download our free template so that you can work along with us.
Now, the first step in creating a spending plan for 2021 is actually going to be taking a little bit of a look backwards at 2020 to see how everything went this year, because that's really going to give you a lot of information on what things worked, what didn't work, and that's going to influence how you want your 2021 plan to go.
And really stop and ask yourself, am I happy? Am I living the life that I want right now? Too often, it's really easy for us to get caught up in other people's priorities, right? Things that people tell us that we should want, or to get stuck in an old vision of our lives that no longer serve us. So that's why it's important that you stop and reflect. And it also gets you out of that reactionary approach to money where you're just dealing with the fires that are in front of your face, but you're not able to then lay down plans to help you pivot your life in the direction that you want to go in.
Yeah, the last thing that you really want to be doing is creating a spending plan that, while it practically works, meaning that the numbers do fall into place, but it's not reflecting who you really are and what is really important to you. And it's very easy to get caught up in this mindset that, oh, well, this is the way that I did it this year, so I'm just going to move all the numbers over to next year and then not change a thing because at least I had money at the end of the year. But we want you to do something different and really question what you want out of your spending plan and how it can better support what you want out of life.
And as you're thinking about this, it may go, the ideas that are coming to you may actually go beyond the next year, but it's just that you might have to start putting things in place next year in order to make the changes that you want to see so that you don't have another repeat of 2021. I mean, pandemic and all the other stuff aside. I mean, this applies to any year that you want to make a shift the following year. So Joseph and I, full disclosure, we have these kinds of conversations all the time. I think like every week we're like, what's going to happen?
At least every week. Like we're always thinking, what little shifts can we make that is going to be huge next year?
And I think that, or even in our lives generally, right? We're like, who should do laundry? Who should do the cooking? Like, should we get a sitter for Reeves? Shouldn't we? So we make those kinds of decisions all the time, but it's just taking a step back and looking at your life holistically. So for us, the conversations that we're having, we don't expect that much to change in our lives over the course of 2021, just based on where we are right now in our lives. There isn't much happening. We're kind of in stasis, but we think about, oh, well, maybe 2022, we're going to have some big shifts. But in order for those big shifts to happen, things need to happen in 2021. So to give an example of something that we've been talking about a lot that we want to make sure we're shifting in 2021 is that despite being at home all the time and having an almost complete home gym, Joseph and I have not been making as much time to work out as we would like. And so we're thinking about, okay, well, what can we do in 2021 to help improve that? And there are options. The first one being that we've actually decided to sign up for a coaching program that's like couples, it's like a couples workout program where we actually get custom workout plans and custom menus to help us on our weight loss journey. And so that costs money. Now, we already spent that money in 2020, but that's just a perfect example of how looking at your spending, thinking about your year right now can impact next year's spending.
Yeah, and thinking about the things that you want that you might not tie a cost to when you're thinking about it, like, oh, New Year's resolution, I want to lose weight or get fit. But then you think, well, then what does it take to accomplish that? And then, you might need to budget for a gym membership that you weren't budgeting for before. And so those ideas and goals do tie in, and that's why your one-year spending plan can really support them. And like Tasha was saying earlier, your one-year spending plan doesn't just stop at the end of the year. Its influence continues on for several years. And so while you're creating your plan, also be looking at your 5-year plan. So your long-term trajectory to make sure that things now in 2021 are lining up to support those longer-term plans.
Yes, we actually typically have multiple one-year spending plans chained together. So I like to keep 2 to 3 years of one-year spending plans just so that I see how things could potentially flow, especially over the past 5 or so years where we've had a lot of shifts from year to year in what was going on in our lives. So you've thought about your previous year. Now you're thinking about, okay, where do I see my life headed in the next 5 years? So the next thing that you want to do is to decide on your money rocks. So money rocks are your financial priorities, the things that are most important to you that you want your money to do for you to help you live your best life. Now, so many people you might be inclined to think about a money rock as, oh, well, I want to reach financial independence or I need an emergency fund. And yes, those are important goals, but I want you to think beyond that to what kind of life do you want your money to make possible for you right now? What are your spending priorities? Is it travel? Is clothing important to you? Do you like to have experiences, concerts? What are the things that you spend your money on that bring value to your life?
And then as you're thinking about that, you also want all of that to have a real dollar amount that you can fit in your one-year spending plan. So it's not enough just to say that you want to travel. Well, where do you want to travel to? Start planning out those things, get a budget, and then work that into your spending plan so it completely supports that travel that you do want to do.
And here's the reason why you need to have money rocks. Because if we don't decide in advance what is important to us, then we end up spending on things that aren't important to us and then get frustrated that we don't have the money available for the things that we actually want. And that is why having a one-year spending plan is so powerful, because you decide on these money rocks in advance. And let's just say, to use one of our money rocks, which is travel. So we always have travel on our one-year spending plan. And we decide in advance, how much do we want to spend on travel? Where do we want to go this year? What kind of trip do we want that to be like, right? Because you can travel on a budget, or we like to lean on the side of traveling on the nicer side, not super luxury, but certainly not anywhere near budget, right? We like nice things. We like to have the extra bells and whistles. We like convenience. All of those things cost money. So what does that mean? We make sure to put together a budget that has more on the vacation side. And so then when we're not eating out as much because we're putting money towards our vacation, it's not a deprivation. It's, we already decided that for us, being able to go on a couple really nice vacations a year is way more important than eating out at the same restaurants a couple times a month.
If the term money rocks is a little bit foreign to you, where it comes from is the idea that if you have an empty jar that represents all of the spending that you could do, and then let's say you fill it with small things, a whole bunch of pebbles. Well, then something big comes along. Things are really important, a big rock, and you try to put it in that jar. it won't go in because you've already used up all of your spending and time with all these pebbles. So then you've got this really important thing that you don't get to. And so those are your money rocks. And so it's really important that you take the time and think about what are those money rocks to you? What's most important so that you can put them in your jar first and then get to the pebbles. So once you figure that out, then you want to think about what are the financial goals that you want to accomplish next year.
And we always say when you're thinking about your financial goals, that you think about the 4 different types of financial goals that you can create. So those first is your stability goals. So the goals that are aimed at helping you build your financial stability so that you can withstand upheavals like a whole pandemic. Next are independence goals, which are aimed at helping you build wealth so that you can stop working at your ideal age with your ideal lifestyle. Third are your lifestyle goals, because your money should also be helping you enjoy your day-to-day life. It should be serving you in that way. And then finally are growth goals. So goals around growing your income, changing your job trajectory. So things that help you grow as a person and feel more fulfilled in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, and you want to sit down and brainstorm these goals and all the categories as you're building your 2021 spending plan. I know we come up with at least a few goals in each category so that we can really get the priorities and balance out how we want next year to be going.
Then after we have done all of that, that is when we sit down and actually start looking at the numbers. I know that that is surprising. You probably thought that was going to be the first thing we were going to say. All right, get together all of your numbers, gather your bills. Let's see how 2020 went. No, because that is at the end. This is the last thing you do, because you need to decide in advance, what is success? What do you want your money to do for you? Only after you've made those decisions are you ready to sit down, look at your spending plan and say, okay, what am I working with? How close can I get to what I want? What's missing? And what do I need to do to be able to add in more of what matters to me into my spending plan as the years go on?
Now that you're to the point of actually putting the numbers on something, it's the perfect time to get your spending plan from onebighappylife.com/budget if you don't already have it.
And so on Wednesday, we are going to be showing you our 1-year spending plan. It is so easy to put one together once you get the hang of it. And we'll talk you through how we created ours and the decisions that we made and the tweaks that we made to get everything that we wanted to fit into 2021 to fit into the jigsaw puzzle.
All right, so in the comments below, let us know how your planning session is going, and then you can watch our 2021 spending plan in the next video. See you next time.
Bye.
Now, I know that you're here because you want to live your financial dream life, and one of the best places to start is with a 1-year spending plan. So head on over to onebighappylife.com/spending plan to download our free spending plan template and start taking control of your money.